Not long ago, in a small riverside town, the river was more than just a body of water. It was a trusted friend. It nourished the fields, making crops grow tall and green, and it was the heart of the community where children's laughter echoed along the banks. On warm afternoons, families picnicked under shady trees and fishermen cast their lines, confident in the river's gentle flow. The river was woven into daily life, a source of joy, sustenance and peace. But one summer, everything changed. Relentless rain fell for an entire week, drumming on rooftops and turning the sky a heavy, unbroken grey. The river, once calm and predictable, began to swell and churn, its waters rising higher each day. What was once a gentle companion now loomed as a growing threat, its power unleashed by the unending storm. The water crept silently at first, seeping into gardens and flower beds. Then it spilled over into the streets, swirling around parked cars and lampposts. Finally, it invaded homes, soaking floors and furniture, submerging the town square under a metre of muddy, swirling water. Familiar places vanished beneath the flood, replaced by a vast, restless lake. Families fled with what little they could carry: photo albums, pets, a few precious keepsakes, wading through waist-deep water. They looked back in disbelief at their flooded homes, hearts heavy with worry and loss, unsure of what would be left when the waters receded. This was no longer the river they knew. Its familiar banks were gone, replaced by chaos and destruction. The river's gentle current had become a force of nature, reshaping the landscape and the lives of everyone in its path. The flood became a story the town would never forget, a powerful reminder of nature's unpredictable strength. It left behind debris, mud, and memories of a night when everything changed. Yet, in the aftermath, the community rallied together. Neighbours helped neighbours, clearing mud from homes, sharing food and shelter, and offering comfort to those who had lost the most. Volunteers arrived from nearby towns, bringing supplies and hope. The spirit of togetherness shone through the mud and ruin. Old-timers shook their heads, recalling quieter days. "The weather isn't what it used to be," they said, voices tinged with both sadness and concern. They spoke of hotter summers, shorter winters, and unpredictable rains, seasons that no longer followed the patterns they remembered from childhood. The land seemed to swing between extremes: parched earth one year, devastating floods the next. These weren't just stories passed down over tea. They were warnings, shared with urgency, about a world that was changing before their eyes. Similar tales echo across the globe. In distant lands, wildfires rage through forests, hurricanes flatten cities, and floods sweep away entire neighbourhoods. The news is filled with images of disaster, each one a reminder that no place is immune. Extreme weather is becoming more common, more intense, and more dangerous. Scientists and communities alike are asking urgent questions about what's driving these changes. Are these just random acts of nature, or is something bigger at play? Is there a pattern behind the chaos, a reason why the weather seems so wild and unpredictable? Is there a link between a single flood in a small town and the broader changes happening to our planet's climate? Can one storm be a sign of something much larger? To answer that, we must first understand the difference between weather and climate. Only then can we begin to see the bigger picture. Let's begin. Weather and climate. Two words, two very different stories. Weather is today's outfit: sun, rain, wind. What's happening right now? It's the afternoon rainstorm, tomorrow's frost, or next week's heatwave. Climate is your whole wardrobe, the collection of clothes for all seasons, built over years. It's the average weather in a place over decades. The Sahara's climate is hot and dry. Antarctica's is cold and icy. Weather is a snapshot. Climate is the photo album. One hot or cold day doesn't prove or disprove climate change. Scientists look at long-term trends, not single events. When they worry, it's because the whole wardrobe is changing. Understanding this difference is key to understanding our changing planet. The foundation of normal is shifting. Now, let's talk about extreme weather, nature's wild side. Most days, weather is predictable, but sometimes it goes far beyond normal. Extreme weather is a deluge, not a shower, a hurricane, not a breeze, a blistering heat wave, not a warm day. These events are rare, but they shape history. Droughts, floods, storms. They're like sudden splashes from a pot of water, powerful, destructive, and unpredictable. Tornadoes, droughts, blizzards. Each is a dramatic display of nature's energy. They threaten lives, homes, and entire communities. For centuries, we saw them as isolated incidents, bad luck, acts of God. But now scientists see a pattern: extreme events are happening more often, and they're getting stronger. The splashes are bigger and more frequent. Is something turning up the heat under the pot? Is our changing climate making these outbursts more common and severe? The evidence is mounting. We need to look closer. Let's find out why. If extreme weather is a sudden outburst, like a lightning storm cracking the sky, a tornado tearing through a town, or a hurricane making landfall with little warning, then climate change is a slow, almost imperceptible transformation unfolding over decades and centuries. It's not a single event you can point to, but a process that quietly reshapes our world day by day. It's a gradual shift in average weather patterns, subtle at first, but unmistakable over time. Imagine your wardrobe slowly filling with summer clothes, while your winter coats gather dust in the back of the closet. Each year the change is small, but over time it's impossible to ignore. The main driver behind this shift: greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide released by human activities. These gases act like an invisible blanket, trapping more and more heat in our atmosphere and preventing it from escaping into space. For thousands of years, this blanket was perfectly balanced, just right for life to flourish on Earth. But since the Industrial Revolution, when we began burning coal, oil and gas on a massive scale and clearing forests for agriculture and development, we've thickened this blanket dramatically. Now, more heat is trapped than ever before, and the planet's average temperature is rising, a phenomenon we call global warming. This extra energy in the climate system disrupts rainfall patterns, melts glaciers, raises sea levels, and shifts the timing of the seasons. It's not just a little warmer, it's a fundamental change in the rules of life on Earth. Plants flower earlier, animals migrate at different times, and weather patterns become more unpredictable. Climate change is quietly rewriting the conditions that have supported human civilization for generations. The transformation is slow, but it is relentless, touching every corner of the globe. And its effects are everywhere, visible in wildfires, droughts, floods, melting ice, and record-breaking heat waves. The slow, steady shift is changing our world before our eyes. How do we know climate change is real? Scientists are detectives piecing together Earth's story. Weather stations and satellites have tracked temperature, rainfall, and ice for over a century. The data is clear: global temperatures are rising. To look further back, scientists use ice cores from Antarctica and Greenland. Each layer a year's snowfall, each bubble a sample of ancient air. These reveal carbon dioxide levels never seen in human history, spiking since the Industrial Age. Tree rings, lake sediments, and fossils all confirm the same story. For hundreds of thousands of years, CO2 rose and fell naturally, until now. Today's levels are unprecedented, matching our fossil fuel use. All lines of evidence point to one conclusion: our world is warming, and the change is accelerating. The proof is overwhelming. Let's connect extreme weather to climate change. Hurricanes, giant storms fueled by warm ocean water, are getting stronger as the oceans heat up. Warmer air holds more moisture, so storms dump more rain, breaking records and causing devastating floods. Flooding isn't just from hurricanes. Heavy rainfall far from coasts is increasing too. Wet areas get wetter, dry areas drier, areas drier. Rainfall patterns are disrupted. Rivers overflow, flash floods strike with little warning. The 2022 Pakistan floods, driven by record monsoons and melting glaciers, submerged a third of the country. It was a clear example of climate change turning slow warming into sudden catastrophe. A warmer world means more energy and water in the atmosphere. The result: more extreme rainfall and flooding. The connection is undeniable. Heat waves are another clear sign of climate change. As average temperatures rise, extreme heat becomes more common and intense. What was once rare is now routine. Record-breaking temperatures are the new normal. Heat waves are deadly, straining bodies, crops and power supplies. The 2022 European heatwave shattered records, offering a glimpse of future summers. Where there's heat and drought, wildfires follow. Dry land becomes tinder, and a single spark can unleash massive blazes. Wildfire seasons are longer and fiercer worldwide, from Australia to Siberia. Fires release more carbon, fueling further warming, a dangerous feedback loop. The Black Summer fires in Australia showed how climate change turns natural events into disasters. The warning signs are everywhere. What's the link between climate change and a single extreme event? It's about probability. The odds are shifting, and not in our favour. Imagine weather as a game of dice. Each roll represents a day, a season, or even a year of weather patterns. Extreme events were once rare double sixes. These were the outliers, the unexpected surprises. Climate change has loaded the dice. Now double sixes, even double sevens, are more common. The faces of the dice have changed, making extreme events more frequent. We can't say climate change caused one flood or heatwave, but it made them far more likely and severe. The intensity and frequency of these events have increased. Scientists use computer models to compare today's climate with a world without extra greenhouse gases. These models help us understand the impact of human activities. They can now say, this heatwave was 10 times more likely because of climate change. The data is clear and compelling. The evidence is strong heatwaves, which were once rare, are now a common occurrence. Heavy rain, droughts, and other extreme weather patterns are becoming the new normal. Hurricanes, too, are more likely in a warmer world. Their paths are unpredictable, and their power is increasing. We're not just rolling the dice, we're stacking them against ourselves. Each decision we make adds to the precarious tower. The game of weather is more dangerous and unpredictable than ever. We are living in a world where the stakes are higher. Attribution science is changing the conversation from "is this climate change?" to "how much worse did climate change make this?" It's a shift in understanding and responsibility. The answer: much worse, much more often. The stakes are rising. It's time to act. We must take responsibility and make changes before it's too late. Understanding extreme weather and climate change isn't just academic, it's vital for our future. Seeing disasters as isolated misses the bigger picture, a shifting climate making them more frequent and severe. To protect ourselves, we must address the root cause: global warming. The good news? Solutions exist. We can switch to renewable energy, make our cities efficient, and restore forests. These steps fight climate change and create cleaner air, healthier communities, and new jobs. Every choice matters. How we travel, what we eat, how we use energy. We must demand bold action from leaders and support policies for a clean energy future. This is a global challenge, a shared responsibility. Our planet can recover, but only if we act now. By understanding the real story behind floods, fires, and storms, we see the urgent need for change. The future is being written today. Together we can choose a story of resilience, healing, and hope.